We're gathered here today to mourn the loss, not really of a loved one, but a tolerated one. Buzzfeed. Although they've passed on from this life and into hell, they will be remembered and cherished as a wonderful example of how to make the most money while doing the least amount of work possible. Buzzfeed had a way to bring a smile on everyone's faces, whether it was laughing at them for the sheer embarrassment that was their publication, or gawking at their so-called journalists. But most importantly, we were all smiling when we found out that Buzzfeed was dying. So for that, we remember Buzzfeed as our friend, our foe, and a money-hungry corporation designed to bash white men and pump out boring, predictable content that normies somehow found relatable. Buzzfeed, we will miss you. Let's cut the organ, the music, we're not Jewish, and let's get the party going! Roses are red, violets are blue. Buzzfeed is dead, and that's good news. What is up, everybody? It's Hunter Avalone here, and ladies and gentlemen, it is finally happening! Although my intro may have been a slight exaggeration, BuzzFeed is definitely going through some major changes. Some of these changes include firing 15% of their staff. Ha! It turns out fake news just isn't selling like it used to. Now, BuzzFeed has been under public scorn pretty much since the day they began, but that scorn turned to fury a couple weeks ago when BuzzFeed released a bombshell report. This bombshell, however, turned out to be more of a stink bomb, a stinking pile of fake news crap. The day was sunny, and the sky was blue above BuzzFeed headquarters. Employees and journalists all moseyed into the office, finishing up their fresh cup of soy and rehearsing their daily catechisms, saying fuck white people 33 times while doing yoga. But suddenly, everything changed on this warm January 17th. The BuzzFeed journalists decided to take a break from writing about sex toys, how if you're born on November 13th, it means you'll be a cricket in your next life, and how cheating on your boyfriend is okay as long as he's white, to write about something entirely different. BuzzFeed released a bombshell report reading, President Trump directed his attorney Michael Cohen to lie to Congress about the Moscow Tower project. This breaking news was provided by a very reliable source called two anonymous law enforcement officials. And despite lacking in actual evidence, it had Democrats everywhere claiming it was finally time to impeach Donald Trump. Liberals were thrilled. Democrats were so happy, you'd think abortion up until the age of 9 had just been legalized. The media was quick to jump on this explosive report, and the BuzzFeed journalists celebrated by jerking each other off and sipping at their box wine. It was a great day for BuzzFeed, but that pretentious orgasm was soon to be over on January 18th. In an extremely rare event, Mueller's office came out with a statement reading, BuzzFeed's description of specific statements to the special counsel's office and characterization of documents and testimony obtained by his office regarding Michael Cohen's congressional testimony are not accurate. Well, oh crap. 17 people who lied and got promptly called the fuck out. Well, would you look at that? This isn't how it's supposed to happen. How could these anonymous sources be incorrect? Liberals everywhere finally thought Trump would be impeached. I think I read on CNN that this was a sign of the Armageddon. January 18th was much more of a gloomy day for BuzzFeed. There wasn't the regular skip in the pansexual journalist's footsteps. There wasn't the usual pep in the voices of the small bald men chanting fuck white people from their downward dog pose. And BuzzFeed had to issue an array of updates while accepting their new role as the internet's favorite piñata. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. BuzzFeed's death began by two of their least favorite things occurring: giving real news and cultural appropriation. As if BuzzFeed's ass wasn't already the color of their logo, only 2 weeks later, they announced that they were laying off 15% of their staff, or 200 employees. Earlier this week, BuzzFeed announced it was cutting 15% of its jobs, or roughly 200 people, to trim expenses and reach profitability. BuzzFeed CEO John Peretti wrote employees Wednesday that the layoffs will help the media organization avoid having to raise money from investors once more. Slack messages obtained by the Daily Beast show furious BuzzFeed staffers knocking Peretti's handling of the layoffs and lamenting whether it will affect future hiring prospects. Well, disgruntled BuzzFeed employees, why don't you use your magical white privilege you're always claiming gives us unfair advantages and go cop yourself a new job at, I don't know, New York Times maybe? I mean, come on guys, don't be depressed. The world is at your fingertips when you have the wizardly power of white privilege. Go on, employees, add yourself to that list of deplorable examples of white privilege. The left-wing website's reputation suffered a sizable blow this month after special counsel Robert Mueller disputed its report alleging President Trump directed his former attorney Michael Cohen to make false statements to Congress regarding a proposed real estate deal in Russia. I've seen a couple people saying they feel sorry for the laid-off journalists. I'll be honest, I don't feel sorry at all. I personally think it's freaking hilarious. I assume most of these journalists knew what kind of company BuzzFeed was when they applied for a job. And I don't feel sorry when I see this disgusting, biased, fake news corporation fall apart. I mean, this is just the inevitable. When you build your entire business on cheesy cat gifs, spreading fake news about the president, and bashing people for being born the wrong color. BuzzFeed is an absolute disgrace, not only to the internet, but to our society. And I don't feel sorry at all when I see this corporation fall apart. I think they're getting exactly what they deserve. 27 pictures that'll make you laugh every single time. I am sure laughing my ass off. After the layoff announcement broke, a laid-off BuzzFeed employee, who looks fresh out of Sephora, decided to post a butthurt quiz roasting BuzzFeed, titled, "Do you still have a job at BuzzFeed?" Now originally I was going to take this quiz, but I've never worked at BuzzFeed, so it doesn't really seem fair. So instead, I called up a BuzzFeed employee and decided to ask him, I decided to ask him to take the quiz for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet BuzzFeed Bob. I wear glasses so I can see my privilege clearly. I dropped out of college to pursue opinionated journalism. I'm smarter than you because I live in LA. When I'm not publishing articles on why socialism has never truly been tried, I'm smoking weed and eating scones. I wear pajama pants because I'm quirky and relatable. Have I mentioned fuck white people in the last 30 seconds? Oh, okay, Bob. Why don't we do the quiz? I'll read the questions. Give me your answer. I'll tell you your results. How many years have you worked at BuzzFeed? 3 to 4, the minimum amount of genders there are. What is your department? Editorial. Are you a manager? No, but I manage my cat's litter box. What's your favorite BuzzFeed memory? Grumpy Cat, my favorite meme. Are you proud to say you work for BuzzFeed? Of course. It just makes me so much better than all of you mortals. Wasn't our holiday party lit? AF. You bring a dog to the office. Does that help? Cats, please, because cats are so much better than dogs. Meow. Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Probably finishing my book. It'll be like the Bible, but better. Well, congratulations, my friend. You still have a job at BuzzFeed. Hello? What do you mean I'm getting laid off? What do you mean my article claiming Donald Trump played Russian roulette with Vladimir Putin while eating salad with Russian dressing is inaccurate? What? An anonymous homeless crackhead told me that. It's an extremely reliable source, I'll have you know. Hello? Hello? How am I gonna afford my weed? Well, there you have it, folks. The dumpster of the internet is bleeding out. And this time, they can't paint with it. If anything, thanks to this entire debacle, we now have 21 times karma did God's work.